Hi everyone, welcome to your messages for the month of December 2025. I just feel like there is so much going on at the moment. Although I've had this surge of energy in the last couple of days, and I don't doubt that it's got something to do with moving from Scorpio into Sagittarius. So I don't know about you, but I had a very quiet Scorpio. um, yeah, apologies because I haven't been keeping up with the weekly messages, and I haven't been keeping up with my monthly newsletter either. But the main reason that I've been quiet and hermit-like, partly maybe Scorpio, but I think it's been going on a bit longer because I've been writing. It's because I've been writing my third book, Lessons in Awakening. Those of you familiar with my YouTube channel will know that I have a whole section, a whole series on Lessons in Awakening. And I've not only compiled them kind of into a book, but I've upgraded them all as well, because I started that series in 2021. And so now in 2025, I mean, we're all evolving, right? So it's been quite a long time coming, that book. But it's really, I'm just so excited about it. But as soon as Sagittarius came in, as soon as Sagittarian energy came in, I got, compelled to actually put it out there. It's not quite ready yet. But the process is there and the excitement is built up, as you can tell. But I will put out another video when it goes live on Amazon, with the links for you to buy it if you want. But what I wanted to say, yeah, so it's Lessons in Awakening. The subtitle is A Simple Guide to Quantum Manifestation, Self-Mastery, and Creating World Peace. And that's a really kind of big claim. Creating world peace. And I think that's why it took me so long to write it, because I probably wasn't at the level that the book was claiming to be, which is why I've been in hermit mode so much, a lot of self-care, a lot of meditation, fasting, all sorts of things. So I'm kind of really feeling it. Basically, the book outlines spiritual lessons in awakening, as I call them, but they're kind of like a series of spiritual lessons. But I include the quantum science behind them. So people think that science is over here and spirituality is over there, whereas actually, the more you study both of them, they meet. So this book is very much like quantum science meets spirituality and creates world peace. So there's a lot of quantum truths, along with the spiritual lessons, and I also use my own personal life experiences, where I've learned those lessons or steps towards learning them. I'm not claiming to have learned them all, but it's like a continuation of my journey. Although, I mean, it is a continuation of my journey, of course, but it is the completion of my trilogy. If you look at, Heal Yourself to Happiness, Heal Your Soul, Lessons in Awakening, we're basically looking at healing yourself, nurturing the soul, and awakening your consciousness. So it is kind of a trilogy of books, a little series. So yeah, I'm super, super excited about that. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see when I post it. And if you're signed up to my newsletter, you will see when it's live, and you can find out then. But I will do a video here as well with all the links if you are interested. So are you feeling the get up and go energy of Sagittarius? Let's see what's happening in December, because I think December's going to be really busy. I think November's been quite calm because a lot of people have been, because Scorpio is in tarot, it's the death card. So it's the zodiac sign with the greatest capacity for transformation. a lot of death and rebirth, and rebirthing stuff, like books and other things like that. So I'm sure you've also been creative, and you've been spending time on yourself, raising your own frequency, looking after yourself and to produce something. What is it on your divine path that the universe is asking you to share now? And then Sagittarius, of course, is fire. It's fire, it's action, it's getting stuff out there. And Sagittarius has a very adventurous energy. And it is adventurous. It's very adventurous to do these things. And it can be really vulnerable as well, especially when what you're putting out there is so personal. Like I said, I've included, like with my other books, I've included very personal life experiences. So there is always that vulnerability. But, by this stage of the game, we have to trust the process, right? We have to trust our intuition. That's what guided you here, right? That's what's guiding you, really. So let's see what December has to offer. I just want to let you know what deck I'm using, because this is the Sufi tarot deck. I absolutely love it because it's full of tarot wisdom, which is pretty much what I call my readings now. I'm calling them tarot wisdom, really. It's not fortune telling, is it? I've never considered tarot as fortune telling. To me, that's all a little bit weird, isn't it? We're reading energy, tapping into the higher realms, and accessing the wisdom from those higher realms, and applying that wisdom to our own lives so that we can hear our own guidance. So, oh my goodness me. As soon as I, yeah, as soon as I went to shuffle, 3 cards came out. And I think that's it. 3 is the magic number. 3 is the magic number. And I've started, a lot of people do this, but I've started to look at after I've shuffled, I've started to look at the card on the bottom. And it's always super relevant. So on the bottom, I don't know whether you'll see the light, but the artwork on this deck is absolutely breathtaking. So it's the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords. I mean, isn't that perfect? Because, I mean, the Ace of Wands would be the action that I've been talking about. But the Ace of Swords is inspiration. It's coming from a communicative direction. Probably to do with Mercury is to do with communication. It's been in retrograde and now it's coming out. So yeah, there's something. It's about, we've been revising stuff, redoing stuff, retreating, all of this stuff, but this is the breakthrough. The Ace of Swords is very much about a breakthrough. Sometimes it can be referred to as a breakdown that leads to a breakthrough, because sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes everything has to go wrong and feel wrong before we see the blessing in it. But very much the Ace of Swords is a breakthrough. It's an aha moment. It's inspiration. It's thinking. It's mental processes. So it's new ways of thinking, new ways of looking at things. And I was going to say, actually, when we were talking about getting out, and I was talking about getting your creative projects out there, and feeling vulnerable about it. What helps me is understanding that there is only me. There is only me creating my reality. So if I've got the confidence to do it, and I don't doubt myself, you see, if I doubt myself, then that doubt will be reflected back to me in the people around me. If I don't doubt myself. So, and it depends who myself is. It depends who I is. I find this a lot when talking. When you say I, are you talking about your human, your soul, or your higher self? Because Deborah, I often refer to Deborah. See, Deborah has doubts. Deborah is feeling quite vulnerable, putting more personal stories out there and more of her work out there. But when you follow your intuition, and you follow your own guidance, and you kind of have had enough experiences in the past where that's happened and it's worked out for you, then you start trusting the process. You start trusting the feeling. So my soul is quite confident, you know what I mean? My higher self is the boss. My soul is quite confident, but Deborah still, you know, is kind of waiting to see. So the reason I'm sharing this is because if you have any doubts about putting your creativity out there or expressing it in some way or another, or moving on in some way, it might not be a tangible creation. It could be a relationship, it could be all sorts of things, moving house, move, doesn't matter. But if you're following your heart, you can't go wrong. I always say that if you're following your heart, you can't go wrong. But it's important to understand that our humans, our small self, um, yeah, we're going to feel vulnerable, we're going to feel the doubts, but we have to live our life through our soul's wishes and not our humans, because they've been programmed so much, as we know. Anyway, come on, Deborah, let's come on with the cards. So I just want to show you the back of the cards, actually, because they're so beautiful as well, aren't they? Okay, so the first card, we've got the Four of Cups. Yes, now he's been coming up quite a lot for me lately, because the Four of Cups is boredom and restlessness. Now, I think this is perfect because it shows that we've been cocooning. We've maybe not been active. We haven't been doing much because we've been looking after ourselves. We've been spending time on our creations, or we've been spending time in contemplation, meditation, whatever it might be. We've been spending time on that transformational journey of Scorpio, or however long. And now that we've come to the end of that, now it's like we're boredom. Now it's like, this is perfect for me. As always, the readings are for me. And if they resonate with you, great. But, when you finish creating something, you're then like, okay, now what? What do I do now? It's like, looking for something. But the but is, because in the Rider-Waite deck, the fourth cup is coming in on a cloud, which in tarot represents coming from the divine. And the message is that he's not happy with his lot. And therefore, this new thing coming in, and of course, a cup is love, spirituality, intuition, creativity, expansion. It can't come in if he's in a low frequency of boredom and restlessness. So gratitude is the key. So this is the gratitude card because it reminds us to have gratitude for the process, gratitude for everything in our life. So gratitude for the three cups that he does have, because he's kind of daydreaming, wanting this fourth cup. But he has to do something to get it. You can't just sit there and wait. But the thing is, though, with the way the universe works, is we don't have to do a lot to get there. So there's something you want. Daydreaming about it is good. We know that daydreaming is good, imagining, visualizing. We know all of that is good because the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's happening in our perceived reality and what we're imagining. So daydreaming is perfect. Although obviously I didn't think that when all the kids were daydreaming in the class when I was a school teacher, but never mind. I've grown since then and I realized that daydreaming is a positive thing. But we're daydreaming on something. But the way the universe works is we have to actually take some action. But the thing is, though, what we're daydreaming about and where we are now, we think that the action that we need to take in order to achieve what's in our daydream is a big action, a lot of action, complicated action, difficult, beyond my ability, or, too much time, or maybe it needs money, or, we have all of this. But the truth is that that's just your vision telling you what you're aiming for. All we have to do, I'm getting quite excited about this, so that tells me there's a truth in it. All we have to do is take a step. We just have to take a step because it's easy, like for him to go, yeah, but I don't have the money, and I've got to do this, and what if, and what if, and what if, right? But it's like we have to take the step. And it can be any step. It can even be a wrong step, because by taking a step, what we're doing is we're shifting our energy. It's about shifting your energy, because your reality is a reflection of your energy. So if you stay in the same energy, just wishing, then your wishes can't come true, can they? Because your frequency hasn't changed, your energy hasn't changed. You have to change your energy somehow. It doesn't matter how. And it doesn't have to be that much. Just a tiny action or a number of little actions, or maybe one slightly bigger action. It doesn't really matter. It could be telling someone about it, or it could be just approaching, a person that you need, a middleman or whatever it might be. It might just be approaching a subject. If it's a relationship that you want to talk about, just broaching the subject. It might be putting a post out on social media. I mean, some kind of action. It could be, going to a new activity, one that you fancy going to. What a new class. I'm always saying this, a new class, a new activity. I'm often drawn to new classes and new activities. And I often say to myself, why? Why am I so drawn to go? It's just a yoga class, or it's just a such and such, or it's just this happened for me recently, well, a few months ago. I was like, why am I so drawn to this yoga class when I don't know the person doing it. I've never been there before. I didn't know why I was drawn, but I was meant to meet the yoga teacher. I was definitely meant to meet her, and we're working together now. So, you don't always know why you're drawn to something. So basically, just go, do. It could be a meal somewhere, an activity, it doesn't matter. Go and do it. Take a step. New place, new action, new person. Big step, small step, medium-sized step. It really doesn't matter. Because by taking that step, so in that example that I just gave, I was like, oh, well, what's going on? What's going on? And then in came this inspiration for me. In came this new partner, this new friend, this new channel of expression. It's coming in, but because I, was doing something new, something different. I was following my intuition, but my small self didn't have a clue why. I mean, I couldn't if someone said to me, why are you going to that class? I couldn't say, oh, because I've seen it advertised, or because I've seen this, or because there was no answer. There was no, in the physical world, there was no logical explanation. It was just like, because I want to go, because I'm literally energetically drawn. So we really need to feel in to that energetic part of us that is being called, and in some cases not being called. So yeah, having gratitude and living in a state of gratitude will help you find those places far more easily. And it's so important, because your next card, we've got 3 cards, which is the magic number. The next card is a major arcana, and it's the Chariot. Can you see the connection between this card and the Rider-Waite deck? You've got the black and white, there's sphinxes on the Rider-Waite, but the black and white symbolizes the duality of the physical world, of the 3D. And he's standing on that, and there's your stars. They're very relevant, because the stars represent heaven, they represent Christ consciousness. And he's moved on to Christ levels of consciousness, and he's bringing that level of consciousness into the physical world. I love this card. So it's achievement, it's powerful, and it's moving on. Now, in the Rider-Waite deck, well, in tarot, there is another moving on card in the minor arcana, the 6 of Swords. And that very much relates to moving on from moving house very often, or something in the human experience. This card can also mean moving on from a relationship or a house or a country or something like that. But it relates very much to moving on to a higher level of consciousness. And when we do that, very often we do have other forms of moving on in our physical experience. But it's about operating at a higher level of consciousness, which is what we were talking about with the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Remember, we were talking about aha moments and new ways of thinking. And also swords, because they are mental processes, would be beliefs. because we've shifted our beliefs, we've shifted our thinking. It's allowed us to access higher levels of consciousness. And then it's about living the human experience. We're not going up mountains and just meditating under a tree. Some people can, some people do. I've done a bit of that this last month. But no, we've got to bring that level of consciousness into our human experience, because this is how we're creating world peace. See, it all links up, doesn't it? How to create world peace. Book number 3. This is a powerful card, but it's not only about moving on. It's about, I think I said it, achievement, achieving. And what did we say here? Small steps. Can be a big step if you want to take a leap of faith, but it's small steps of appreciation, love, and gratitude. Just expressing appreciation, love, and gratitude, and moving, taking a step anywhere. Okay. Because this is a powerful card. It's major arcana, remember. So you're moving on. You've from an achievement, you're moving on to a bigger achievement. This is December. I think it's powerful. So whatever you've been hermiting or cocooning about in November, yeah, it's time now to get it out there. There's some action, and it could be brave action because we're in Sagittarius. It could be bold action, or it could be just a little step, like mine, going to a new class, well, also publishing another book. But you know what I mean. So this is beautiful. And the last card is the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups, of course, is all about wishes, wishes being fulfilled. Wishes being fulfilled. Now, what did I say with this card? Daydreaming. See, now daydreaming is good because it's your higher self talking to you. It's your higher self telling you where your soul wants you to go. So we love a bit of daydreaming. But what did I say? I said daydreaming without a little bit of action. We need the wishes. If you're just sitting there wishing and wishing and wishing, you can't bring your wishes in if you don't change your energy in some way. So daydreaming alone is not going to bring you this achievement. There is this taking some form of action, and it's the right month to do it. It's the right year. It's the right era in the human experience to be taking that action, whatever it might be. Could be small scale, could be big scale. But whatever it is, it's divine. It's divine action. And your wishes are fulfilled. So, and your dreams, the message with this card, with the 9 of Cups, is that your dreams and wishes are fulfilled. And he was daydreaming in 3 simple cards. In 3 simple cards, we've gone from daydreaming to your dream coming true and being fulfilled. And all we need to do is take some form of action. We need to keep ourselves, maintain ourselves. We need to remember the love that we are, the divinity that we are, the peace that we innately are. And our challenge is to maintain that frequency in the human experience. Because when we're in that frequency, that's when our actions are effortless. They're choiceless even. Choiceless actions. It's like you just can't stop yourself, like me going into that yoga studio. You can't stop yourself. And it's effortless and it's joyful. And it's divine action. And it comes so easily that you can't not do it. Because when you're in the flow of the Christ level of consciousness, when you're in that flow, everything will come to you. And you'll be like, oh, look, I've just met a new client, or been given a new contract, or been offered a new job, or got a promotion, or been proposed to, or whatever it is. And it will appear like it's coming out of the blue. But in the 4 of Cups and the Rider-Waite deck, what did I say to you? The 4th cup is coming from the cloud. It's coming out of the blue. That's what out of the blue means, right? It's coming out of the ether. It's coming from the divine. And everything that you need, you already have. And the person that you're dreaming to be, you already are. And the destiny that you dream about is unfolding. Oh, so exciting. Right. Now, you want to look out for when my book goes live. So you might want to subscribe, click the notification button. Please like and comment on this video. It really helps me. And now that I have more time, I can start putting a few more videos out. Sending you so much love, as always. Thank you for getting to the end of the video, and I will speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.